For 5 years, I'm saying that INEC is at liberty to allow another party to use that symbol. So
the elites will not be happy. That's why they ganged up, because they know what will have happened.
My sister, you're a journalist. We are politicians. It's not my job as a politician to help other political party if they want to sink. In fact, ordinarily, I should help them to sink. That's the truth.
We know, we're not naive to know that that will not cause concerns in some quarters. But we want to say that, look, it should...
I see a Minister of Works who went to Sokoto. He's telling Sokoto that the job will start from Badagry to Sokoto 2027. You did it before you do it. We can't do it.
John, the party has told us not to say anything. The party...
If you know that the elites in Anambra, even till today, are not happy with me.
We were told. So
we cannot vote Tinubu. We can't vote hungry. We can.
Are you sure?
We don't have,
because people watching might think differently.
Anyone.
Are you sure you do not have issues with Mr. Peter Obi?
It's not even connected to Labour Party.
We cannot vote Tinubu for 2027 from the north. We cannot. It's right there we die. We cannot vote hungry.
Is it fair then to say, Senator, that everywhere Peter Obi goes, trouble follows him?
Yes,
and everywhere he leaves, stability comes. Is Peter Obi the problem?
Hello guys, welcome back to Chaka Film. The CTC, that is the certified true copy of the judgment from Justice Issa regarding the registration of NDC, is finally out. And there are a lot of revelation from that CTC. And by the time we open you guys' eye to it, you will see that the judgment was already premeditated, even from the onset. The result we're getting is what they have already planned it to be. And you will also know that APC and the judges and the court, they will do everything possible to make sure that Peter Obi did not appear on the ballot box or ballot paper. And when we are still on the topic of this ballot paper, I want you guys to watch these two videos of Peter Obi. And this also portrays the reason why everything they will do, not in January next year, is to make sure that Peter Obi does not come out or does not appear on the ballot box. Then we'll come back to talk about the revelation we've seen. So the first video I want to play for you guys is of Peter Obi talking with the military or the service member or what you call police paramilitary. And you see how these people were paying more attention to what Peter Obi has to say. So before I play that video, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you will be notified. Thank you very much. So now, let's watch that video.
Mothers are in hospital without knowing how to pay their bill. That's what concerns us. Not this one. And not bringing you people out from your office to come where there's party meeting. No. There's a better thing, because you're doing a great work for the country. It shouldn't be. We will take it up. That's why I came out today. So I thank you people. And also, you are the member. Are you?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you. So please, sorry, I'm sure we'll make sure that we don't bring you out in this thing. We want to bring you out in something that is better, where we are talking about your welfare, the future of your children, the future of everybody. I always tell people it is important where we build schools, where your children, my children are in the same school. My mother's driver and me, the children of my mother's driver and me went to the same school. They were actually bright. And that's what we want to do. We want a better Nigeria, where people will be happy to live and live their life, especially the poor, feel their children can become anything.
You can see that how Peter Obi is talking to these people. He's not talking to them as if he's the commander or these are my followers. He's telling them what he's trying to do. His fight is for their own personal gain. It is for their own children, even though if they say it is not for them, but it is for their own children. You can see how they are paying more attention to what he's saying. Now that leads us to another video of Peter Obi. In this, where he said that if my aim is not to be friendly to everybody, my aim is to make sure that I produce or protect, or my aim is to make the life of Nigerians better. And even the cabals, the elites, they will not be happy with him. Let's watch this video.
I can assure you that if I had won presidency, people won't be happy. The elites will not be happy. That's why they ganged up, because they know what will have happened and everything. People were not happy. So it wasn't about people's happiness. I get warned, and I say it every day. I get warned. And when I became governor, I used to quarrel with people. People were not happy with me. If you know that, the elites in Anambra, even till today, are not happy with me. And it's not that I know it, because I go to see a president then who tells me, Peter, nobody is happy with you. And I say, Mr. President, I didn't promise people happiness. I promised to fix school. I promised to fix school. I promised to fix health. I promised to, because the only thing that would have made them happy is to give them public money, which I'm not ready to give anybody. And that's it. You know, so
you see, what Peter Obi said in this video is supposed to make everybody understand the reason why this journey for a new Nigeria has to be everybody's business. Because most of these corrupt politicians, most of these corrupt elites will never want to have somebody like Peter Obi as the man in charge, knowing fully well that he will never adopt that their corrupt sharing formula, which is one of the biggest problems that Nigeria as a country have had all these years. It has to be everybody's business. It has to be everybody's fight. All of us have to get involved to be able to dismantle this criminality in the system. Then Nigeria will have peace, and you will discover that Nigeria is a great nation. And I can tell you that it was because he rejected that corrupt sharing formula that made it possible for him to deliver that level of good governance that you and I cannot stop talking about today, because there was enough money in the system. So it has to be a fight of everybody. All of us have to get involved, because this elite will always want to fight against it because of that sharing formula. And if that corrupt sharing formula is not thrown away, if it is not destroyed in Nigeria, a lot of things can never get to the citizens, because few individuals will be taking the money. Mind you, it is something we can achieve as the masses, because the number of these people that are involved in this sharing whatever, they are not many. They cannot even measure up to 3% of the population. You know, it has to be everybody's fight for this to be settled.
You can see, because sometimes I do hear this statement more often, especially on social media. Some people will say, where are Igbos? We're fighting against Peter Obi. Since Peter Obi is from the southeast, Igbos supposed to have Igbos elites supposed to have worked for him, work together to make sure they make Peter Obi the president. But let me tell you guys, those are the elites. They know that when Peter Obi comes to power, all this, their corruption, their embezzlement, they will face repercussion for that. That's why when it comes to corruption, there is no ethnic bigotry between these elite people. So now, I want us to watch this interview of Senator Dixon, the pioneer of NDC. This video is a very long interview that he did with Channel TV with Sheung. So I've divided it into two parts. The first part is just the kindergarten part, where he tried to walk us into the discussion. And the other part is where he talked about the PMP, that how they are not even a known entity. Then we'll come back and give us the revelation. But first, let's start with the first part of the interview.
So let's look at it legally speaking now. I mean, you've spoken as the national leader of the party. Yes. And from your own point of view as a national leader, how do you interpret, based on the status of your party, what do you say the status is right now as a national leader?
Well, first of all,
where does this lead your party?
Yes, I want all Nigerians, I thank them for their support and their solidarity and their prayers. As a matter of fact, from Friday, Shehu, thousands of Nigerians have been flocking to our website to register. They now know more about our party. They sympathize with our party and our candidates. and they are flocking and buying into the vision of our party and our candidates. So I thank them for their support and their prayers. Now, the NDC has not been deregistered. The NDC has validly nominated candidates for all elective offices in primaries monitored nationwide by INEC, from House of Assembly to House of Reps to Senate to governorship and to a presidential candidate who has also nominated a running mate. I myself am also a senatorial candidate of the party. All nominations have been validly carried out, monitored by INEC, in accordance with the time frame given by INEC. So I assure all our candidates and members that those nominations are valid. And by the laws of this country, nominations are done at the primaries that takes place at the various levels. The submission to INEC is an administrative procedure. So the NDC is still a party. The court itself did not deregister it. And no step has been taken whatsoever to that effect. And as soon as possible, as the party has said, once the appeal is lodged and the necessary papers are filed, this is a matter that will go to the highest levels to set aside the irregular judgment. Irregular because by our hierarchy of courts and by judicial precedents and by all that we know, the doctrine of finality of courts, once a high court has given a judgment on a matter, the court is functus officio and shouldn't have any business to go. Anyone who is complaining, someone says it's an interested party, you file a suit or you go ask for leave and go on appeal. But all of that has not taken place. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that is so. And we expect that the judicial system will correct this anomaly. And the judicial system, by the way, Sheon, presupposes that judges and people who sit in judgment will make mistakes. That's why you have a hierarchy of courts. So if a judge makes a mistake, it's well within his own area. I mean, a judge is at liberty to err, is free to err. But then it is left for the aggrieved party, in this case, for the party that is complaining, we, and all our candidates, over 1,000 of them, from all the houses of assembly, all the governors, all the National Assembly members, and then our presidential candidate and running mate, everybody has now acquired a valid, vested legal interest because they have all been nominated. So we expect that the appeal process and the applications that will follow, including the ones that will be lodged before that same court, in accordance with procedure and precedents, will correct this matter. So we're on course. And I assure all our candidates and members that NDC is on course. Their candidations are not threatened. All nominations that have already been concluded since, monitored and recorded and observed by INEC, are all valid and subsistent.
Yeah. Let's argue the position of the law. And today, it's difficult for me to actually argue because a very senior member of the bar, it's difficult for me to, but let's look at the rest of the bar. Let's look at the issues, the subject matter as debated in court. And the ruling of Friday returned you to the first instance. The reason that took you to Lokoja was the fact that INEC was refusing to register your party. And you went to court to say, INEC, you must register, and you won the matter. And that was the reason when afterward, after December, you came out to say, we've got a political party. But the court has now said, that judgment, I know better, I see better. That judgment, I take it back to before I gave you the judgment that allowed you to be registered as a political party. So if you interpret that, it means that you are back to status quo. The status quo meaning that before you went to court to challenge INEC for not registering you. So there are those who interpret it as though there's no NDC because the party took you back to pre-registration.
Well, first of all, that interpretation is wrong. Whatever orders that he made in terms of status quo, even while the status quo you're talking about is debatable. Because right now, you have NDC registered as a political party. When the court made that order, the court positively compelled INEC to register us. This ruling did not contain a positive mandatory order directing INEC to deregister. This ruling did not do that.
But there is a judgment that INEC had that compared INEC to register.
No, but
that ruling, that judgment in the hands of INEC is now a nullity. That judgment means nothing is left.
Wait. Courts don't function that way. Courts don't function that way.
But it reverses.
Orders of courts are to be construed strictly. It was possible for the court to have made that order on deregistration if that was what it wanted. But the court did not say so. And in any case, our contention is that that order that was purportedly made was an order that was extra-jurisdictional. It had no jurisdiction, no powers to have even entertained the application, no powers to have made even that order on status quo, whichever way you want to interpret it. And that's a decision that the appellate courts will look at, and they will know what to do. And we are confident that even the orders, whichever way you want to interpret it, will be put right in no distant time. Okay? Once the applications are lodged, and our lawyers have been doing a terrific job, and the issues are very clear, Shehu. I would like you and all Nigerians to know this. Look, the party.
So the first part basically walks us into how this judgment, even after reading the CTC, that it is not a deregistration of NDC. Basically, it's just like saying going back to status quo. Even that status quo is on a wrong foundation. So now let's go back now to the second part where we talk mainly on the PMP as a group. Let's listen to him.
That went to file an application, a motion. Who are they? Nigerians should know that that is not a registered political party at all. It is actually a non-entity. It's not known to the laws of Nigeria. We have natural persons, you and I, Senator Dixon and Okimbaloye, we are natural persons. Okay? In this political sphere, for you to participate in political activities, you must be a political party. That applicant is unknown to the laws of this country. It is not a political association. It is also not a registered political party. It is not carrying out political activities. It is not sponsoring political candidates for this election or for any election at all. Nobody even knows the national chairman of that so-called association. Nobody knows the secretary. Nobody knows the office or headquarters. To itself as a party. It is not a political party. Actually, that is a crime under the laws of this country. A crime under the laws of this country. Because by the laws of this country, only a registered political party can call itself a political party and can undertake or be part of political activities. And it is a criminal offense to do so. So, ab initio, there was no legal, justiciable person, no juristic person before the court. Okay? So the action, every action associated with this matter is frivolous and it's embarrassing, actually.
So you really don't know people who are behind it?
No, there's nobody actually behind it. Now, let me tell you.
What do you suspect?
Wait. Yeah. So there are many suspicions and many motives going on, but I'm not here to trade suspicions. What I'm here to explain, the kind of situation that has been contrived. Contrived in the sense that what did the affidavit, the so-called affidavit that didn't really disclose any case at all? You look at the affidavit, and the courts of appeal and others will look at it, and you will hear more about it. Look, they said, even if you take them by what they have read, they said 2015, that association, not a party, association, applied for registration as a political party. And they were denied. Of course, as you all know, we started as 2017. Okay? Now, they were denied. So they are not a political party. And if you check 2015 till now, or till December, when we got this order, it's 10 years. So 10 years, that association has been moribund, dormant, non-existent, dissolved itself, is of no consequence, does not exist. Even if it existed at that time, Its members, some may have died as human beings, some may have left, they may have japad, they may have... So it is not a body that can pursue any claim against our party. It is not a body capable of having any rights that can be enforced. And in any case, look, what did they say? They said, 2015 when they applied to use the V sign as their logo. But they were denied. And once that application was denied, that was the end of it. If they had gone to court to get INEC, as we did, to register themselves as a political party, then they would have had a case. But they were denied, and for 10 years, nobody knows who they are. All right? Now, we got our own applied through the courts, and we have been registered. Now, by the laws of this country, the Electoral Act, and even by the INEC guidelines, once a party has a logo registered, they have what they call a register of symbols. So as at the date of that judgment, it is the NDC that has the symbol, this symbol. And so, it is a criminal offense for any other person to purport to lay claim to this.
APC says that symbol looks like their own.
No. That was why we went to court, and the court overruled them. And funny enough, all these arguments were canvassed because INEC said 2015, before the judgment, INEC said 2015, an association applied with this sign. And the judge, this same judge, asked them before the judgment of December last year, were they registered? INEC said no. Are they seeking to be registered now? In other words, in the process that started last year, INEC said no. So, Shehu, this association, whatever it is called, has never been in the equation at all for the past 10 years.
Let me take you to the constitutional matter that the court brought up. And it's a principle enshrined in Section 36 sub 1 of the Constitution. The principle of natural justice, fair hearing. It stands on two legs. Audi autem partem, hear the other side. Nemo judaism kososua. The other part is meaning that you can't be a judge in your own matter. But what concerns us is the first leg, which is audi autem partem, which means that hear the other side. And the court says, look, I need to hear them. And you have, your party has said, what is the business of Peace Movement Party?
It's not a political party.
But the fact remains that this Section 36, Section 36 of the Constitution gives them the right of fair hearing.
Okay,
and you think that does not apply?
Procedurally and by precedence and by law, is the attempt to invoke the constitutional right of hearing is misplaced. And it's an attempt to be clever by half. Okay? What that section of the fair hearing rule says is that when they went to court, if you properly construe it, as they filed that application, they had a right to be heard on the application. Okay? And what the court ought to have done would have been, on its own even, can you address me on the jurisdiction I have? I have delivered a judgment.
First of all, PMP is not a known entity. They are not a group. They don't even know their national leader. Nobody knows who's the permanent secretary. Nobody knows who's whether a permanent secretary, they political party, men and office. They are national secretary. Nobody knows anything about them. We only know about the lawyer who filed the case to court. And any other thing, nobody knows. Now, let us now look at the CTC of that judgment. And the part that play most important role to what I am about to tell you guys now is this page you are seeing here, where they say about the ruling. But now, let me read for the paragraph that is interesting. Hold on, please, guys. Now, you can see from the part that is circled with a red marker, you can see that this is the part that plays an important role to what I'm about to tell you guys now. I will read ruling for this first paragraph. This is a ruling on a motion on a notice dated 4th of May 2026 and filed on the 5th May 2026 by the affected party or applicant, Barrister Emmanuel Uzowuru, pro-tem national legal advisor of Peace Movement Party. First, Peace Movement is not a political party. As Senator Dixon already said that they are committing crime. It is a crime to file a legal suit or a legal notice that you claim to be a political party when in reality you are not even a registered entity. That alone amounts to crime in Nigeria Constitution. Now, let's leave that part alone. So let me shock you guys. This filing or suit was filed a day after Peter Obi entered NDC. Peter Obi entered NDC on the 3rd of May 2026. At the moment these people saw that Peter Obi entered NDC, the APC government created an entity that does not exist and used that to try and destabilize NDC. And they instituted this suit on the first notice, create a notice or file a notice on the 4th of May, and then I filed the suit on the 5th of May. After 2 days, Peter Obi entered NDC. Guys, and the worst part of it, I've tried to Google something about this barrister Emmanuel Nwozuru. I found nothing about him. And I've also found search all throughout the day to find something about the PMP thing. This very way, there's nothing concrete about that entity or group. It is just like a share company. They are just there, but they does not exist. They exist on our imagination, but in reality, they don't exist. And this was a setup from the onset by INEC, because they were the one who involved the PMP into the case in the first place. And in that same court judgment, they were asked, is PMP a registered political party? And they said no. Is PMP applying to register as a political party? They said no. Is PMP a registered political association? They said no. So, in the first place, why will you bring such an entity to a suit where they are not even where they are not even affected? If they are not a political party, they are not trying to register, they did not file application to register, how is that? Why will you even bring that in the first place? Then you see how these people work. They created the party, they registered the party, but they created a loophole which they will use in future in case when any political party become a threat to the existence of APC. So they will use their loophole to start and try and destabilize them. And I've said it over and over again that when people say that Peter Obi is supposed to have done due diligence before moving to any political party, and I am saying it again, year and year again, that in Nigeria, as it stands now, there is no political party that does not have any case or legal issue before now. Even though they win it in court, APC can use that same case to fight to destabilize that party if they see them as a threat to them. Just tell me which political party does not have problem as we speak now or before now. All of them has had cases in the court, and that is also a disadvantage to this political party, because whenever they become a threat, something will just creep up from nowhere, just the way this case from Justice Issa Dasha. It seems that all these judges, they are now auditioning for the mansion that Wike has built in Abuja. Who will do the work of the president so that they will get this mansion? That's how it is now. Because it does not make sense to build an estate where only judges will live. that will play an influence. They will try to influence each and everyone. They will influence each other. And that's a way to buy judges, because you settle you concentrate them in one place. Whenever you meet the top one, this one is respecting this one, the one in the appeal court, the higher court is respecting the one in the appeal court, the one in the appeal court is respecting the one in the Supreme Court. You see, the chain of command will come like this, but it is so very dangerous what Wiki is doing. Thank you, guys. We'll be following this case, and a more research will be carried out to further unearth these people who are under this case. Thank you very much. And before I go, guys, please, I'll be waiting for you guys on the comment section below, and I want to get you guys thoughts on this case. And before I go, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon, so that whenever I drop any latest update, you'll be notified. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.